December. Another year gone, scrolling, searching for an annual hit of New Year, New Me motivation. Let me ask you something. Do you even remember the goals that you set for yourself last January? I could have swore this time last year you promised yourself that you'd be in the best shape of your life, finally get your finances together, and become the person you've been promising that you'd be for years. But here we are. Nothing to show for it. Here's the truth. Only 8% of people actually stick to their goals each year. The other 92%, they fall off. It's not because they don't want it bad enough. It's because they're just missing one key component. Today, I want to break down why 92% of people fail each year and explain what the 8%ers have that the 92%ers don't. So let's talk about the mistakes that you need to avoid at all costs in order to be successful with your goals this year. Mistake number 1. You set too many goals. There's no better feeling than January rolling around. You have all this good energy and enthusiasm flowing. The mind starts racing. You get this sudden urge to want to lose weight, start a business, save money, eat healthy, travel more, read 52 books, and become a morning person. The problem is, when you're chasing everything, you're really chasing nothing. Your focus is scattered, your energy's divided. By February, you're completely burnt out and wondering what went wrong. Instead of setting 10 goals, narrow it down to 1 or 2 that actually matter to you and put all your focus into those. Mistake number 2. You are aiming for the moon without a rocket. Here's where people go wrong. You want to go from 0 to hero overnight, but then life hits. When the progress isn't immediate, you tell yourself it's impossible. In reality, it's not the goal that's the problem. It's simply the lack of plan to get there. When your goals feel unreachable, you lose hope before you even start. Now, you should be aiming high, but building smaller steps to get there. Start with something achievable, something that builds momentum. Small wins here will be the difference. It'll lead to the results that you're looking for. Mistake number 3, relying on motivation. Motivation feels great, doesn't it? It's that rush you get when you're picturing your dream life. You make so much money, it's like you're printing it. The car, it's fast. The house, better than any home you've seen on MTV Cribs. If you haven't figured it out yet, motivation fades, fast. And when it's gone, what's left? That is when most people give up. But what you can do to fix that is form a system. When you build a system to stick to, you'll create habits that work even when you don't feel like it. Those habits that you created will keep you on track for the days that you don't feel like getting anything done. Build a non-negotiable system around your goals. Mistake number 4. Your goals are unclear. If your goal isn't specific, you won't know where to start. Clarity will make the path to getting to your goal much more manageable. Define your goal in detail, and I mean like write it down to the numbers, deadlines, measurable outcomes. Because you know what they say, if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. Mistake number 5. Doubt and excuses creep in. You just woke up, you don't have much energy. Now you sit down to plan your day with the intention to start your new year goals. Sitting at the kitchen table, your phone gets a notification. Your favorite creator just dropped a new YouTube video. 30 minutes have passed. Now you've realized you're just procrastinating. You freeze in the moment, overwhelmed with reality. The reality that you bit off more than you can chew sinks in. All motivation fades. A voice begins to creep into your head. You're average. What were you thinking about setting a goal this big? You're not special. You know how this works, right? You set goals just to feel better about yourself, knowing good and well that you're going to be the same each year. Let's save ourselves some time and watch Netflix instead. Doubts and excuses are completely normal. Everybody has them. The difference between the people that fail and succeed is the way that they react to them. One thing I've noticed as I'm getting ready to do something productive, there's always this very minor split second that I have where a doubt creeps in, and it's that moment where I have to make the decision to either listen to that voice or set the new standard for myself. Once you can catch on to that split second when it creeps in, if you act there and go on and do what you're meant to be doing, eventually that voice will get more silent each time. Now, on the opposite end, if that voice creeps in and you listen to it, that will turn into a habit, stopping you from actually taking action on anything that you want to do in your life. So it's time to set the new standard for yourself. Stop listening to that voice and take action. Part 2. Choose your character. Let's talk about you for a second. I don't actually know who you are or what your goals are, but I want to share something with you that I find interesting and something that I love to think about. Whenever I have to deal with a big choice or decision, I like to think that I'm playing a video game and I get to choose my character. Basically what I'm saying is you have the power to choose which character you want to be this year. You can choose the character that gets things done and achieves their goals. Think of your life like a video game. At the start, you pick your character, their strengths, their abilities, their path. But in real life, you're not stuck with these default settings. You can upgrade, you can evolve, you can completely rewrite who you are. So my question to you is, who do you want to be in 2025? Do you want to be a part of the 8%? The ones who don't just dream about success but live it? Or do you want to stay with the 92%? The ones who always start strong but fall back into the same routines, never actually changing their lives? It's a choice, and the choice is yours. The 8% isn't born any different than you. They don't have magic powers. They're not luckier or smarter than you are. One thing they do have though is they are intentional. They decide who they're going to be and then they act on it every single day. This year, you get to decide. 2025 is a blank slate. You can become whoever you choose to be. So, let's make it real. Who's the version of you that smashes their goals this year? What do they look like? How do they think? How do they show up every single day? How do they react to situations that aren't going exactly the way they planned? Write it down, visualize it, become it. They say in order to achieve a goal, you need these 5 elements: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. I bet most of the 92%ers had this written somewhere in their goal-setting journal. But there's just one thing they were missing. What's the real difference between the 8% and the 92%? Well, the winners make sure that the reason they started is bigger than their excuses. That is how you become part of the 8%.